Welcome, everyone. My name is Jason Borgen. I'm Chief Technology Officer for the Santa Cruz County Office of Education in Santa Cruz, California. Welcome to the second day of the first ever Distance Learning Leadership Summit, brought to you by the Santa Cruz County Office of Ed, Tikal, Google for Education, and CDWG. We're happy you have joined us this morning for day two. And so just to let everyone know, this is 3 days and 3 themes focused all around supporting you and your colleagues around distance learning. Yesterday was all about redesigning our school program, redesigning the school day. Hopefully, if you did attend, it was eye-opening for you and you got at least 1 or 2 or 3 takeaways from the event. Today is all about supporting your teachers in instructional design techniques and practices. And tomorrow is all about supporting your teachers, staff, parents, around wellness and effective communication strategies while working at a distance. So glad to have you. We have a wonderful kick note scheduled for tomorrow, and we have Mr. one and only John Kerry Poe joining us today to talk about his work on QCraft and Edu protocols. I do want to introduce our Associate Superintendent of Instructional Services, since today is all about instructional design. We have a great program and support for all of our districts in Santa Cruz County. So welcome, Debbie Bodenheimer.
Thank you so much, Jason. And really, I just want to thank everyone so much for taking the time to be here today to collaborate with your peers and make new connections and maybe some new partnerships. In this time of COVID-19, there's a lot of feelings of isolation and hopelessness. And the fact that so many people are willing to come together at the end of June to learn from each other and share resources really gives me hope and motivation to continue working hard and fiercely to support all of the students and the families who need us. And I also want to give a big shout out to my fabulous Ed Services team at the COE, because they have been contributing like mad, presenting, moderating, and chatting. So I just want to thank them all so much. So thanks again, and have a great day at the summit.
Thanks, Debbie. It does take a village to put this event on. Many staff here, our IT staff especially, Mr. Sergio Ibarra has been really, very helpful, as well as the CDW and Google team. So thank you for being here. And so with that, let's get some interactivity going on here. I want to launch a poll about yesterday. So if you attended yesterday, how was it? What'd you think? I'm gonna go ahead and launch the poll, and let's say, please share. You can have multiple answers. How was your day one? It looks like we had some folks who did not join us on day one. You missed out, but we'll share all those videos and recordings very soon via our YouTube channel. We'll also be sending out emails if you did register to how to access all of those sessions. So again, it looks like we have quite a few people who voted, got some new ideas. Already we had 24 people share resources with colleagues. I'm going to go ahead, and we have 71% people voted. And let's go ahead and end the poll, and let's share the results. Here we go. Got some new ideas. That's what this is about. Getting some new ideas. We're all in this together, learning new things and trying to implement something we didn't even have on our radar 5 months ago that we would have to implement. So this is all about learning and sharing with your colleagues. So thank you for being here, and thank you for sharing and interacting with us today. So with that, I do want to get a word from one of our partners, which is actually based out of Santa Cruz County Office of Education, the Tikal Project.
Hi, my name is Roland Baker. I'm the Executive Director of the Tikal Project. It's an acronym, stands for Technology Information Center for Administrative Leadership. It was founded out of the Department of Education in an RFP back in 2000, when they realized that many of the teachers knew a whole lot more than their leaders at the school sites and in the districts. Not much has changed in the fact that we still have a lot of our classroom teachers that are way ahead of our leadership, and we need to keep working on that one. So we're happy to be here, happy to support this, and we look forward to a great day. Thank you, Jason, for making this possible, as well as the team out there that's worked so hard to do this.
Great, thank you, Roland. And let's go ahead and hear from our wonderful friends at Google, Thomas Dixon.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. My name is Thomas Dixon, or TD. We're so happy to partner with Jason in the Santa Cruz County office. of Education on this event. Great turnout yesterday. Really excited about today. Really focused on teaching and learning and instruction. I've been with the Google for Education team for about 3 years, and I live in sunny SoCal, just down the road from the office. So really looking forward to another great day. Since today is all about kind of going in uncharted territory in instruction and learning, there is a great resource from Google called Teach from Home, where it's actually a resource for teachers, schools, and families to kind of kick off distance learning from your house. So give it a look. It's just at teachfromhome.google. If you type that in your browser, there's a ton of stuff to get going with very little energy. So take a look, and thanks again, Jason, for having us. We're really looking forward to today.
Thanks, TD. And we're going to go ahead and hear from our friends from CDWG, Mr. Jeff Mitchell. And he has a surprise on the raffle drawing. So thank you for those folks who did the evaluation.
Absolutely. Thank you, Jason. My name is Jeff Mitchell from CDW. I am an account executive, live out here in the Bay Area, supporting all of our K through 12 education folks. Me and my team are responsible for supporting K through 12 education across the country. And we also have Joe Marquez with CDW, who'll be introducing himself in a few minutes, who leads our education strategy team here locally in California. So thank you all for joining. We appreciate it. It's an honor to partner with Jason yet again for the second year, and looking forward to more future opportunities to get in front of you guys and to bring the community together in the same way. So thank you all for joining. Thanks again to our sponsors. The sponsors on the screen right now are the ones supporting the next slide, which is our giveaways. And I'll reiterate this one more time. It's very important that you fill out those surveys at the end of each session. Not only does it give us the opportunity to get amazing feedback on how to continue and better things like this in the future, but it also makes you eligible for winning some of these great prizes. So on the screen, here are our 10 winners from day 1. We'll have another 10 from day 2, and we'll have 11 for day 3. So I won't read through all of these, but Jason, if you make this available, I will be reaching out individually to get your information for anything that needs to be shipped and delivered to your guys' houses. So you guys should see an email from me either later this week or early next week coordinating all of these giveaways. So congratulations to everyone who won on day 1. Thank you guys for joining, and make sure you guys fill out those surveys today for day 2.
Thanks, Jeff. We get a shout out for the winners, and there's plenty of more giveaways. Tomorrow we'll announce the winners for today's raffle as well. So don't forget to complete the evaluation at the end of each session. And Joe Marquez is going to share a little bit about the next 2 days.
Yeah, so I'm Joe Marquez. I'm a K-12 education strategist with CDWG, and we are just so overjoyed with the number of educational leaders that joined us yesterday and the amazing conversations that we heard in the chat about. So we absolutely love that. We love your passion, and we absolutely love you. So we're going to get to hear from John Kerry today, which is going to be phenomenal. And we have really great breakout sessions from a lot of great innovative educators from around the world. So we'd love for you to stay for the breakouts at 9:35 and 10:25. And we always have a help desk open and ready in case you have any questions, any problems at all during the summit. And we really encourage you to sign up for our Remind text messaging by typing the text at DLL Summit to 81010, because we'll be sending you all the information that you'll need to sign up for the chat abouts, to sign up for those, to win those raffle prizes by doing the feedback forms. So we really, really, really encourage you to do that. And as always, we encourage you to share what you've learned in this summit with your fellow educators on all your socials and all the means that you can communicate, so that we can spread the learning and spread the love to as many different educators as we can. And I get the pleasure of introducing one of my mentors, somebody that I look up to on a daily basis, John Kerry Poe, one of the most amazing individual people, not only in technology and not only in education, but just a real great all-around great person, human being, the Chief Learning Officer of Q, one of my inspirations. And I asked, please let me introduce him, because he changed my life, and I know he can do the same for you and your fellow educators. So without further ado, the one and only Mr. 24/7 tech support, John Kerry Poe.
That $20 that I slipped you is really paying off right now, Joe.
Yep, that'll be a good dinner tonight.
I'm getting my screen shared now. Can I get a thumbs up? Is that looking okay? I'm doing a little Chuck Norris impersonation today for my kick note. Just a word of caution, everybody. I've got 45 slides in 20 minutes. So we're going to be flying. So you're going to want to do a couple things. Screenshot something if you like it. That way you can keep it forever. There'll be a recording you can watch. If I go too fast now, you can watch back later. And then the third thing is I'll be sharing all the slides. And so you can go through at your leisure. And then the fourth thing is, like Joe said, free lifetime tech support. So I'll be giving you guys my email address at the end and my Twitter handle. And anytime you need anything, drop me a line. Weekends are good for me because I have more time to answer your questions. So let's flip this, right? How many people agree? Educators don't always like to be told what to do, right? You put a bunch of teachers in a room and say, here's what we want to do. That doesn't always end well. So here's some things not to do during COVID remote emergency teaching. I posed this question to the interwebs. I tweeted this and I said, hey guys, those of you that are educators and parents, what are some things you are seeing that are practices we should not aspire to in these times? And then I was very careful to put a parentheses. And I said, please don't name names. This is not about shaming. I'm trying to get a feel for what's going on out there. So these are from teacher parents. How about this? Tying teachers' hands, not allowing the use of two-way video with students, not allowing teachers to do what they do best, handing out hashtag worksheets because of the few that don't have devices or internet. That was one feedback. Another feedback, a middle school student received almost 50 assignment notifications on a Monday from Google Classroom, and they were all posted to the stream. Thanks for Mr. Carr for sharing that. Being understandable and flexible. How is it helping a middle schooler to send this morning message? I am not answering questions in comments or emails that I answered in the live class. You guys, we can do better than that. Another parent teacher, Chris Bell, math timed tests in Zoom. I'm just going to let that sit there for a second. Whole class grading in Zoom, 60-minute lectures for third graders. These are some of the things that are going on. How about information overload? And now we're starting to see some answers. So good for Kristen Daly Conti here. Their team works really hard. So everything is posted for the day at 8 a.m. No assignments are posted after that, only if emergency clarification is needed. They just feel so comfortable right there. I know another district that one weekend they made 400,000 packets, you guys. I didn't say 400,000 pages, 400,000 packets on one weekend. And I saw this tweet from a kid. My sister has a whole homework packet and did one page. I asked her why, and she said, because her class is in a group chat and everybody does one page. So that is the kind of stuff kids are going to do when we give them work they don't care about and they know they're not going to get feedback on. So this slide to me says a lot about how hard teachers are working right now. But what I also see here is they're trying to do the same thing that they do face-to-face, but from far away, if that makes sense. So let's see about how EduProtocols from QCraft can address this. Now, one of the first things I want to show you guys is called the Fast and the Curious, and you can use any tool. Two of my favorites, if you haven't checked out Quizzes or GymKit, and Jason Borgen, I think you will love this. Jason, GymKit is actually made by a high school kid. And I'm getting ready to talk to him next week about his business plan. But basically, the Fast and Curious workflow goes like this. Give kids one quick rep, give them immediate feedback, and then give them one more quick rep. This is such a nice little shift between the way that I see Kahoot and Quizzes used right now, where you'll see teachers say, oh, we're going to review, or we're going to, we'll do the test in. So this one quick rep, immediate feedback, and one more rep happens daily, twice a day, daily, until the class average is above 90%. And I'm going to share a couple of quick tweets here from Janet. Thank you a million times for teaching me how to use Quizzes as an educational tool. My students went from 54 to 85% after instruction. That's after their first rep, you guys. Here's another example. Corey Orlando is using Quizzes to teach timed math or math facts, and she's actually tracking the data. Corey took her kids from about 35% to about 93% in 3 weeks, and that's third grade. And then here's Kim Vogie at work. Check this out. This is her Latin root, Greek and Latin root final right before she went to break, okay? That's 3 total problems missed out of the whole class, you guys. That is mastery teaching, and that is the way you do it. So that is this concept. I'll go back one slide. Give the kids a quick rep. You don't need to do a lot of lecture or direct instruction. Just give them the quiz. They'll get 30 or 40% right. No problem. Coach them up, give them the quiz again. And then we do the same thing tomorrow. Now I'm going to play a new game I invented called How Many Marzanos? This is one of my favorite new games. So when we look at the top 10 Marzano strategies here, identifying similarities and differences, summarizing and note-taking, reinforcing, most of my folks who are listening right now, you guys are seasoned educators. You've seen the top 10 Marzanos. Now, bear in mind, a 1.61 effect size equates to almost 2 years of growth. So when you do one of these consistently and well, kids are going to grow really well. So here's my question. How many Marzanos in these activities? Feel free to answer in the chat because I'm watching. I think you'd be really hard pressed to get 1 Marzano out of activities like this. In fact, it might be 0 Marzanos, right? Thank you, Cynthia, for jumping in. So we have an activity that we do in Edu Protocols called the Cyber Sandwich. What if you could do 7 Marzanos in one single activity? What if you did similarities and differences, summarizing and note-taking, reinforcing effort, homework and practice, cooperative learning, setting objectives, questions, cues, all of that in one activity. And that activity is called the Cyber Sandwich. And I'll show you the little recipe card for that in a second. But this is from Adam Moeller in Cincinnati. These kids, now this is in COVID, you guys. These are kids that have, this is 3/30/20. These kids have been home for about 17 days at this point, right? These students coming through big time with Cyber Sandwich and Edu Protocols. They used a FaceTime to do a Flipgrid presentation together remotely. One partner just held up their phone and they got it done. That's what I'm talking about. By the way, this is 7th grade. And if you're now wondering, what is a Cyber Sandwich? It's a lot like a Think, Pair, Share, but it's powered by slides. So you give the kids one source. It could be a PowerPoint, a web link, or whatever you want. You give them 5 slides, you put them in groups of 2, and then they read, write, and compare. They talk, they chat, they do a Venn diagram. We don't say Venn diagram because that makes kids go, what the heck is this? And then at the end, they write a nice little paragraph. So that is really a nice flow, and you're getting 7 Marzanos going on at once. Another one of my favorite Edu Protocols that's really good in distant learning and also face-to-face is good old thin slides. You give kids 1 word, 1 image, 1 slide, 3 minutes to build. And so you can throw out a term like parallel or complementary angle or pyroclastic flow or reverse osmosis. And the kids basically raid the Google images. They make 1 slide. They add the vocab word there. They have 3 minutes to build. This is very doable. And then they each share for about 4 seconds and they make a claim or observation. In less than 5 minutes, you guys, the whole class has made something and the whole class has shared. It's super powerful. And it turns out that this works really, really well in Nearpod or in Pear Deck. And so here's an example of what some teachers did in 3 minutes. I said, give me a food that people should like or not like. And you've got 3 minutes. So that's an example of what the product looks like in 3 minutes. And here's another example that Adam Moeller's kids did in Cincinnati. And I'd like to draw attention to this one. This is Sketch and Tell. And in Sketch and Tell, it's the other end of the spectrum. The kids have to only draw or, in this case, model with gummy bears what their learning was. And this student read about popular sovereignty. And I hope you can see this okay. All the gummy bears are holding up the 1 gummy bear. So that's the Sketch and Tell, which is a variation of thin slides, also super creative, also super fast. And then here's the recipe for that. Super simple. 1 source, 1 slide. You can give the kids a PhET drawing. Now it's very NGSS. You can show them a quick video about the rain cycle or types of volcanoes. And they have to explain only by using the drawing tools in Google Slides and then explain. And then when they're done, they do either a little gallery walk or a quick share out. And guess what? I can have the kids do this every day this week in Nearpod or Pear Deck. And what's my planning time? Super minimal. Here's a really good example of a Sketch and Tell that Stacy Young's kids did. She had them read about Shinto shrines. She had them watch a quick video, and then each student, and look at the creativity, you guys, each student went through and drew what was in their head about their learning, and then also wrote a short summary. So this Sketch and Tell method is super agile, super flexible, and takes almost no planning. And it's a great use of technology because this is in Pear Deck, which turns out to work great face-to-face, but you can also do it remotely. So some people are saying, John, this is great, but I teach math. Math is where the problem is. So, and Michelle, we're getting to your question. There is depth. These are entry-level protocols. So what we did with Math Reps, designed by Lisa Nowakowski, who's just a little south of Jason there in King City, is we basically, the concept is we take one number and we do all the things with it. So this is what it looks like in kindergarten or first grade. Here's what it looks like in fifth grade. Kids do all of this work based on just the number of the day. And then tomorrow we're going to do the same exact work with a different number. Lisa's kids, she said that the first day takes them about an hour to get through this with a lot of support. By Friday of the first day, they're getting down to 5 to 10 minutes to do the same activity. And this is what Kristin Morales, super hot shot teacher down in Fullerton, does, where she does this kind of work, the same exact concept in her trig class. Now, one of the most popular things I've seen on Twitter is, how do I make a PDF editable? This is a really bad idea, in my opinion, because it takes you a lot of time to make it editable. It then takes the kids not much time to screenshot and copy. And then it takes you a lot of time to correct all of them one question at a time. So I'm suggesting people use quizzes, Quill, Socrative, Nearpod, Pear Deck, HyperDocs, or Edge protocols. And this is my little favorite part here. Let the machine work for you. Let the computer do the grading, see what the kids can do, and then jump back in and give them some feedback. Remember that fast and curious model. Ask them 1 or 2 questions, find out what they can do, coach them, ask them a harder question. So you're going to level up. So I like to practice fast feedback. So like if you're using Nearpod, start with an open-ended question, give them some data, have them do a little quiz about the things that are coming ahead, right? So the quiz before the content, and then do a little memory test to make sure that it's stuck. Now, this is what a super teacher did by the name of Amanda Sandoval. Definitely you want to follow her on Twitter. History Sandoval is her handle. And she took this concept right here and she made it into a remote learning math rep this way. So this is what the kids do. They do one slide at a time in Pear Deck. Today's number is, do this activity, a number bond, do this activity. And I really like this for number sense, +10, -10, +1, -1, right? And then they do this, which is greater. Your mom or teacher will give you a number and you can compare which is greater. And here's what's beautiful about doing this kind of thing in Nearpod or Pear Deck. You get a single daily report with all this data. So you could have your kids doing a little science, a little math, a little reading, a little history, and then you get one report. In a scenario where we're doing a remote teaching and learning, this is a big time saver. So I'm on the downward slide here, Jason. I'm getting ready to wrap up. So somebody had asked, where do we get into the depth and complexity? This one is called Number Mania. What would you say if I told you that this student made this to open the lesson? This is the opening of the lesson. This is not the culminating activity. This student made this in one period. So this is Number Mania. And basically what we've got here is we've got kids working collaboratively to build really fast infographics and source them at an AP level in less than one class period. And the recipe for this one goes like this. One fact, one number on a form, either a Google form or a Microsoft form. Every student in the class grabs one number and one fact with their name. This takes less than 5 minutes, you guys. Guess what forms make, Jason Borgen? They make spreadsheets. So I share the spreadsheet back out to the class. Each student makes one slide. They grab 5 to 6 of the artifacts and relevant numbers. And then what I've done is I've taken either flat icon or I take the noun project, and I have icons that they can just drag in. So it's wickedly fast. I literally did this up in San Jose with a group of 7th graders. We did the US Revolution in 27 minutes, and every student had made one. And then this is a great slide by Scott Petri. Number Mania, Iron Chef, and Cyber Sandwich form a trifecta of highly effective strategies that improve your teaching through remixing and repetition. So imagine if you've got all 3 of these things going, what the effective size is. Here's a couple more examples of Edgy protocols. There's the Battle of Stalingrad again. Look at this student made on the French Revolution. I love what they did with the battery to show the relative percent of land owned. And a reminder that this method of teaching is number 7 on Hattie's top list of 256 strategies. It's super powerful. Here's another example that a group of students did for Mrs. Palomares on the Battle of Britain. And remember, this is the subtlety. This is the subtlety. This is the opening lesson, you guys. This is not 3 weeks in culmination. This is how they're getting the hook set. And Josie, do I have video trainings? Well, this is one, and there's others available. I'll be glad to hang out with you guys. Here is my crowning glory of the whole thing here is Plan the Perfect Week powered by Edge Protocols. This is made by Kim Bogle. And this is what Kim's weekly planning looks like for online learning. The kids do about the same thing every week. And here's the key. What changes is the content. Hi, Kim Bogle. I'm glad you're in here. So basically, Kim's planning is almost the same thing every week. And then she's got links here to the various different tools. That is a much simplified environment for people. Couple little numeric claims, and then I'm just about done, Jason. This is a first-year teacher, you guys. This is a first-year teacher. This is what she gets. 16% of her kids passing on CASP. So this is the class that's sitting in front of her in December, 16%. This is what she got on CASP that year. She quadrupled her scores, you guys. Quadrupled her scores. Amazing. And she worked less than ever, and she was a first-year resource teacher, mid-year hire, using these techniques. My friend Scott Nunes up in the Modesto area, this is key. Their department went up 41 points on CASP. Their students with disabilities went up 50 points. And Scott was having fun with me. He said, we went up a ton. I don't know what that is numerically, but I'll go with a ton as being good. This particular school is only using 2 or 3 of the 28 identified protocols. Imagine after they build that out, what that's going to look like. And I love that it's a department. Okay, moving into final here. We worked with a school all year last year down in the Val Verde School District. At the end of the year, this is what the staff said. Next year, I'll be using Edge protocols due to their impact in my classroom. I am pretty good with that kind of response from teachers. And the key here is they even they agreed with this statement due to the impact in their classroom. Super powerful. So if you're wondering where the resources are, you can go to q.org/craft, and there's several protocols there you can download for free, including MathRep, Cyber Sandwich, and the others. And then there's a bunch more at edgeofprotocols.com. And just today, we started adding them for the Microsoft platform, which frankly, if you open them in Google, you can save as PowerPoint. But what we're doing is we're pre-building them in Microsoft now, so they're ready to go. If this sounds like fun and you're from California or anywhere in the world, don't forget, Q membership is free. And you go to q.org/members to get there. We're doing a lot of PD globally right now. If you go to q.org/Microsoft, we got people like Pernille Rip, Ken Shelton, Sarah Thomas, Vernon Wright doing free PD for the next 10 weeks. So jump in there and get some free PD, q.org/Microsoft. And then I love this statement from a school we've been working with over the last 4 years in New Jersey. Their friends were in a meeting and they said, how are you guys doing all of this? And they said, I immediately not only told them about what we're doing right now, but the plan we used with Q and our tech cohorts over the last 3 years. Friends, Edge Protocols has powered this, and they are astounded by this and the districts, the results that they have seen. So steal these slides, tinyurl.com/kicknote3, because this is my 3rd kick note ever. And I will put that in the chat for people who need that in the chat. And check this out, Jason. Jason was worried last night that I wasn't going to be done on time because he saw like 57 slides or whatever. There, I just put the link in the chat. And Jason, I'm done a minute early. Woo woo. I'm ready for some Q&A.
So you guys can use the Q&A feature or just ask in the chat if you have questions. And you may have heard of a Picha Kucha, which is 20 slides in 5 minutes. I'm going to call the 20-minute 60 slide John Carippo. So thank you, John, for completing the John Carippo here. 60 slides in 20 minutes.
And I'm very serious, y'all. Email me or tweet at me. I'll be glad to share or custom build things for you. We are all about OER here and oversharing. We love the sharing.
All right.
Brian
I don't see
has
any
a hand
questions yet. Feel free to
see Brian
use
raise
your...
his hand.
All right. Oh, there's one question here. Is there training provided for teachers on the process for using forms in Google Suites?
Sure, Q does all that. We've been doing Google Workshop for educators for almost 10 years now. We got that covered.
Yeah, and then look at your local, either your regional center or your regional affiliate, Q affiliate as well. They may have some events coming up. All right. Well, it is 9:30, and I want you to have a quick 5-minute break to look at the schedule. So, John, thank you so much for engaging us, inspiring us with QCraft and EduProtocols. This video will be available at another time, so you can actually use the YouTube slow feature and go to 0.5 speed to slow it down a little bit. So you may know that on YouTube you can actually change the speed.
They might even need 0.3.
So thank you all. Thank you, John, for being here and joining us. And if you don't know already, Mr. Kerry spent many years for Q, 5 years exactly, and now he's actually going back to the classroom. So congratulations, John, on your effort back into the classroom to try these out.
Yep, and I'm still going to be doing the Q stuff part-time, and that's going to be really fun to be able to focus on the BD aspect of my job full-time.
All right. Everyone, enjoy your day, and don't forget to do the eval after each session. We'll see you all tomorrow or at our chat abouts this afternoon. Thank you.